This video is going to be the only guide you truly need in order to book hundreds of sales meetings a month with cold email and get tens of clients on a monthly basis. So there's lots of people online that talk about this topic. And the reason why you might want to listen to me is because we've added millions of dollars in revenue with cold email. We booked thousands of meetings for our clients. I had a lead generation agency. Before that, I had a marketing agency. Both I scaled with cold email. And now I actually have a tech startup called Mailscale, which I grew to over $1.2 million in ARR in just 180 days. So we're currently sending over 30 million cold emails a month for our clients, and we've helped over 1,000 B2B companies. And I'm truly not saying this to brag, but just so that you know that this information that you're about to receive here is the result of years of hard work of trying to figure out cold email for our companies and for all of our clients. To this day, we're sending thousands of cold emails every single day, and these are the kind of replies that we're getting on a daily basis. This one, for example, saying, "You have my attention, click the link below to set up a meeting." Or this one asking if we're available for a call today. Or this one who said that he's interested and actually became a client. So you might ask yourself, why am I doing all of this? Why am I showing you everything that's currently working for us and booking us hundreds of sales meetings? Well, what I can tell you is that I'm not selling any information. I'm not selling a coaching offer. I'm not selling an overpriced agency that's not going to deliver results. I'm a tech founder. The only thing I'm selling is software, and some of it in this cold email space. So if you allow me to and you found this guide helpful, then I would love to tell you more about a couple of software products that I'm building in this space to help you get even better results. But in this video, I'm going to literally show you everything that you need to do, no matter if you use my products or not. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people that create these kind of videos want to sell you information or a coaching offer or any high ticket kind of product. And that could be a problem because then they don't want to reveal the actual information inside of the video. The video is basically just meant to be a pitch for the more information that you need to buy. Now, who is this system for? Well, cold email is really for any kind of B2B company. If you're a software, if you're an agency, if you're a consultant, if you're a freelancer, if you're really selling anything to other businesses, then cold email will work for you because everyone in this world has an email. And the second thing is that you need an addressable market of at least 5,000 businesses, because this approach and this system that I'm about to show you is really meant for mass outreach. It's for scaling your outreach. And if you want to turn this into a predictable growth channel, it's not enough to just send emails to 500 people. So if your market is very small, if you only help a very small type of audience, then I would not recommend you to set all of this up. In 99% of the cases, you're probably targeting businesses though of which at least 10,000 exist in the world. So why is cold email so effective? Well, first of all, it's very cheap. It will cost you less than $300 a month usually, and you can get 10 to 20 new clients every single month with it. Therefore, the CPA, the cost per acquisition that you pay for a new customer, is also extremely low and much lower than with advertising or with cold calling or with any other marketing method. Cold email is also pretty stable. Ad platforms change all the time. Google ads and Facebook ads, they release updates every couple of days, but cold email essentially stays the same. Yes, there are a couple of deliverability updates that come from time to time, but email as a fundamental method hasn't changed for the past 10, 20 years. Now, you might be wondering how you can find emails of your ideal clients, and that's actually extremely easy because most people have a company email like firstname@companyname.com, and that's why there are databases with hundreds of millions of leads that you can literally just download with a single click, and a lot of those are your ideal clients that you want to target. Scaling is also really simple. Once you set all of this up, yes, it's going to take some time, but once you have it up, you literally just need to write a couple of new scripts every single month and then add more leads to the best performing campaigns, and that's literally it. Lastly, with AI, we have a crazy opportunity right now because AI can help you make every email look personal. You can really make it look like it's a manually written email, but you actually send it to like 10, 20,000 businesses. So here are the kind of results that you can expect to get with cold email. Now, your goal should be to contact at least 10,000 businesses every single month, and you're about to see why that is necessary. But from those 10,000 businesses, you would usually get 50 to 100 businesses interested, depending on how good your script is. So these are the data that I have from millions of emails that we're sending. From those, you're probably going to get 10 to 30 on a sales call with you where you can pitch your service or your product or your offer. And when you have normal closing rates, you're going to get 5 to 10 new high ticket clients. If you're a software company or you sell anything that's lower than $1,000 a month, you can get substantially more. So this data is based on a high ticket kind of product. For me, for example, selling software products, I can get a couple hundred customers every single month. And this is essentially the overview of the system that we're going to cover in this video. First one is to get leads from databases of your ideal clients, because you need to have a list of email addresses that you want to target in order to send cold emails. The second one is to set up email accounts, and that's basically the infrastructure of a cold email system. And the third part is to add those to an email sending tool where you can write and launch the email campaigns. As a result, you're going to get 5 to 10 businesses interested in your product or service every single day, and we'll get a lot of new clients. Now, in these next few minutes, we're going to cover each of these parts, and I'm going to try to explain it in the simplest way possible. So we're going to actually start with the technical setup, because that's where most people actually get stuck at, but it's really easy if you understand this. So the main challenge of cold emailing is, how can you send tens of thousands of emails without landing in this spam folder? And if you're new to the cold emailing world, you wouldn't understand how much of a challenge this actually is. Outlook and Google, they're not really a fan of you getting a lot of results of cold email. Google's main business model is Google Ads, for example. So why would they be interested in letting you sending tens of thousands of emails and not needing to advertise at all? So essentially, if you send tens of thousands of emails from a single email account, you will land in the spam folder. So here's what cold emailers do to get around this. You need to set up a lot of company email accounts, at least 50, and the more the better. So these are basically like your salespeople that will do automated outreach every single day to your ideal clients. In order to set up a lot of email accounts, you need to buy a couple of more domains so that you can spread your volume nicely. So for my website being mailscale.ai, I would buy a couple of additional domains like trymailscale.com, getmailscale.com, usemailscale.com, and so on. And then I would set up 3 to 5 email inboxes underneath each domain. So I can use variations there. If I want to send on behalf of my own name, I could do Yassine at, I could do Yassine.b at, I could do Yassine bomb at, for example. And each email account is only going to send 20 to 30 emails per day per account. And this essentially matches a realistic human sending pattern, something that an actual person would send. And that's how you can land in the inbox at scale. So some of you watching right now might be already cold emailing, maybe with 3 to 5 email accounts. So this next section is going to be very important, because we're going to talk about the importance of volume. Why do you need over 50 email accounts? Well, it's actually simple. If you're sending cold emails, you can expect anything between 0.5 to a 1% positive reply rate. Meaning that if you send 500 emails a month at a 1% positive reply rate, that will be 5 interested replies. So 5 businesses are going to be interested in learning more or working with you. Out of those, you might book 1 or 2 calls, and you're likely going to get 0 clients and make 0 more revenue. Now, if you take the same positive reply rate of 1%, but you send 10,000 emails a month, all of a sudden you get 100 interested replies. Out of those, you can book 30 to 50 sales calls and get 5 to 10 new clients. And if you want to scale this up, you just set up more email accounts. Now, here's how people used to set this up. You would buy domains of GoDaddy or Namecheap. You would set up the DNS records for the DKIM, the DMARC, and the SPF. They're basically authentication protocols that prove that you own each domain. So you would add all those records in the DNS settings of each domain. And then you would create email accounts of Google Workspace or Office 365. So you need to set up all those email inboxes manually, and it will also cost you $7.20 per account per month. So essentially, just for 50 email accounts, you would pay almost $400 a month already. And if you want to scale it up and have over 200 email accounts, you would pay over $1,400 a month. All of this is really time consuming and expensive to set up and maintain, and it does require technical knowledge in terms of the DNS setup. So essentially what I did last year in order to solve this problem is I created a software company. So full disclaimer, you don't need my software in order to set up email accounts. You can perfectly follow these steps of the traditional method, but it would cost you 5 times more, and you'd have to spend a couple of days to set all this up. So if you want to save all of that, you can consider using Mailscale. I'll leave a link in the description below. All you have to do is to go to our website and choose a plan that suits your needs. We currently have a couple of different plans depending on how many email accounts you want to start with. So let's say you want to start with the 50 email account plan. You just buy your subscription. Then you click here on purchase new domains. You can add your business name and it will automatically generate you similar sounding domains. So for me, for example, I would put Mailscale in here, and let's say I want to buy 10 domains. I could set up the domain forwarding so that all of those domains will forward to my main domain. And I'm going to click here on create new domains. Now all of these are available, and I actually like how they look. Try Mailscale Agency, Try Mailscale Media, Try Mailscale HQ. For example, I could switch this one since we're not an agency and just type in whatever. And once I'm ready, I'm just going to click here on buy domains. So for example, for 50 email accounts, you would have to buy 10 domains. That costs you somewhere around $100 a year. So it's only $8 or $10 a month. Now the next step is to set up a couple of email boxes. So I'd create new mailboxes right here, and I would pick a name, for example, Yassine Baum, if I'm only going to send on behalf of me as the founder. You could also pick fantasy names here like Jessica Thompson or whatever. And then I'm going to pick the domains that I want to create email accounts with. And let's say I want to create 3 email inboxes per domain. I'm going to click generate, and it's going to generate all these email inboxes. If they look good, I can just click create here, and that's essentially it. I would have all of my email inboxes ready within a couple of minutes, a process that used to take days and actually cost 5 times more. So now I have my emails here. I can actually just select them and export them. It basically integrates with every email sending tool. So depending on what I use, I can export the CSV files here, or if it's not listed, I can just ask the customer support and they can create a custom variation. And at the end, I just upload that CSV to any email sending tool, and I'm going to have all of my email accounts ready there to send all those emails. So Mailscale basically allows you to easily scale your email outreach, and it even includes a deliverability guarantee. If you want to learn more, Link is going to be in the description. Now, the next step is to set up an email sending tool. So that's basically the tool that we're going to use, or we're going to write our scripts, we're going to manage all the replies, and we're going to book the calls from there. So what I recommend you there is to use instantly.ai or smartly.ai. Those are really good because they allow you to add an unlimited amount of email inboxes without paying more. So it's essentially their value proposition, which is a very strong one. There's also a couple other tools like outreach.io, reply.io. Feel free to check out those, but I would recommend you to go with one of those here because they're made for cold email outreach and at scale. Now, Instantly, for example, has different plans here. You could start with the $37 a month plan, but I would recommend you to go with the $97 a month plan because with that, you can contact 25,000 businesses every single month, while with the $37 plan, only 1,000. So in a second, we're going to go into the email sending tools so that you can see how we're going to set all of this up. But so far, what you have to understand is you have to use some of those tools because regular email providers that you might know, like ActiveCampaign, Mailchimp, and all of those, they're just for transactional emails. Transactional emails are if you have already a list of emails that expect your email. But what we're doing here is cold email. We're reaching out to people that don't expect our email yet. So they all forbid that. So if you try to use them, usually within 500 to 1,000 emails that you send, they're going to block your account. By the way, Google sometimes also blocks your account because they're not a big fan of outreach. So just keep that in mind. Follow the best practices that I'm showing here in the video, or use Mailscale, of course. But most importantly, follow the best practices and don't send too many emails and so on so that you don't run into these issues. Okay, let's go into lead scraping. So how do you get all of those emails? If you want to send tens of thousands of emails a month to your ideal clients, you need to have emails of those. So how can you get them? So we're going to go into a couple of methods right here that I'm going to show you depending on your offer. But the easiest method is Apollo.io. This is a database of over 300 million email addresses. A lot of those will be your ideal clients. And to get started, you can just sign up to their free plan and just browse with the filters, take a look around. So first of all, we want to start using the filters in order to find our ideal client. So you're going to go here in Apollo into the people section because we're looking for specific people. And then we're going to use the filters right here in order to find our ideal client. So let's say I want to send cold emails from my own software company. I would probably look for agencies. I'm looking for all kinds of B2B companies. Let's say marketing companies, for example. So in that case, I would start by using the industry filter here and choosing marketing. Now, if I want to go a little more specific, I could also use the company keywords right here. For example, if I want to target SEO companies and have a specific campaign for that, I could add those and even add the social media description right here. So right now I have 1.4 million SEO related companies and people that I could target. Since my product really works for any B2B company, I'm going to choose marketing and advertising. And then I'm going to choose a job title. So who is the person that would make a decision to buy Mailscale or not? Most likely it's going to be a founder or the CEO for a smaller kind of company, anything up until 50 employees. But if it's a large company that I'm targeting, most likely the founder or CEO is not really going to be involved in the day-to-day operations. So I would want to target a director, maybe a director of sales, someone that works in the sales department. So let's make it easy here. And let's say I want to target smaller companies. Well, in that case, I would target the actual decision makers, which are often the founders and owners. So what I could do here is I can type in the specific job titles, for example, CEO and founder, co-founder, and so on. And I would recommend you to add as many as possible here that apply, because that's how you can get that list up. But you could also go here into the management level and choose owner and founder. Okay, so right now we have around 200,000 people here. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to choose a location. So in my case, I want to target English speaking countries. So I'm going to choose the United States here. I'm also going to choose the UK and Canada. And then for the employee range, I actually don't want to target people with just a single employee, not because our product wouldn't work, but rather because they might not have that much of a budget. So maybe I want to target larger companies, for example, from 5 to 30 employees. So now I have around 30,000 search results here. The last thing that I'm going to do here in the email status field, I'm going to select verified and guest because I don't want Apollo to show me leads where they don't have the email address. So right now we have around 20,000 leads. So how do you get these leads now in the cheapest way possible? Well, what I would recommend you to do is use a third-party provider that have enterprise account because they can scrape 10,000 leads even just for $30 for you, which is just a massive steal. This is often the same data like Zoom Info and all the other providers for such a low price. So in order to do this, you can look around on Fiverr. There's a lot of people there, but you can also use the website Findy Lead in order to scrape those for you. All you'd have to do is to refine your search a little so that you have kind of around end result here, plus minus 500 or so. So in my case, for some reason, it's exactly 20,000. So I can now just copy paste the search URL here at the top. And then inside of Findy Lead, I can literally just click here on buy now in order to buy the emails. Actually, I don't have the 20,000 option anymore. So in this case, I would refine the search so I have 10,000 results and I would paste it in here and I would do that over and over again and just pay them for all those leads. So this is where I would paste the search URL and usually they deliver the email addresses within a day. Now the next step once we have email addresses is to verify them. Verification is basically a process where a tool checks if the email address still exists or not. And the reason why this is so important is because if you send a lot of emails, let's say from 10,000 emails that you send, 2,000 of those don't exist anymore because they changed the jobs or whatever it is, then your email deliverability will suffer quite a lot because Google Google and Outlook will see that you're targeting businesses and people that don't exist anymore, so they'll think you're a spammer and your deliverability will suffer. Now there's a lot of tools that allow you to do this, like Never Bounce, there's Million Verifier. The one that I've used quite a lot is Mailveri. So it usually costs you less than $10 to verify 10,000 emails. To do this, just sign up and click here on upload the files. Then you're gonna drag the CSV file of the emails that you gotten on here, and you're gonna click on verify. So at the end, you'll see your file here and you can just download it. Then you have to delete the columns in the sheet where the emails don't exist anymore. So what I recommend you to do there is to open Google Sheets, and you're gonna click on File, Import. You're gonna import the list that they gave you. In this case, I'm gonna import the all list that includes all the emails. I'm gonna click here on Append to the current sheet. I'm gonna import the data. Now I'm gonna click on the very top left here and click on the filter right here and scroll to the very right where I should be able to see the status. As you can see here on the very right side, they added the status. So now I'm just gonna click here on sort A to Z or Z to A, it doesn't matter. So a lot of them are valid, which is awesome. And then we have a couple unknown emails, and we have catch all emails, and we also have the invalid ones. So the invalid ones we definitely want to get rid of because those don't exist anymore. So I'm just going to select them right here up until this point, and I'm going to click right click and delete the selected rows. I'll kind of make it dependent on how many results you have there. Now in this case, 70% of the lists are unknowns and catch alls, so I think I wouldn't risk emailing those. If you want to verify your catch all emails, technically you could use another tool like Scrubby that will verify the catch all emails. Catch all emails are basically when someone set that email or set really any email with that domain name to be able to receive emails. That doesn't mean though that it's a good email. So definitely delete the invalid emails from your list. And if you keep 5 or 10% of your list with unknown emails or catch all, that's fine. But if you want to really keep it safe, then delete them as well. By the way, if you're using the email sending tool Instantly, they have verification inside of there. So you don't even need to do all this step with uploading to the Google Sheet, possibly verifying the catch all emails. Instantly would do all of that for you. You just have to drag and drop your emails and then they'll do it. Now, if you did this step, then you're just going to download your CSV file, and that's the one that you're then going to use in your email sending tool. So depending on your niche, there might be cases where you don't find that many leads in Apollo. For example, if you only target local companies, I feel like there are other databases or scraping methods that are better. So let's cover a couple of these edge cases so that you know about other scraping methods that you can use. Now, for example, if you're targeting e-commerce stores, let's say you're a marketing agency, then you can use Apollo, and I would recommend you to use Apollo, but you can also use Store Leads. This is one of the best databases for WooCommerce and Shopify stores, and they have over 10 million stores that are really well categorized. So you can categorize for the exact type of brand that you want to target. They even show you how many products they have on their website and so on. So you can use this even to personalize your emails, which is really helpful. But from what I remember, I think you need to get the Pro plan in order to actually get all of the brands. Now, the thing about a lot of these platforms that I'm about to show you here is they give you websites, they give you domains, but they don't give you the extra decision maker, the email of the founder, for example. So you would still need to enrich them. Now, before we do that, let me show you a couple of other examples. If you're targeting local businesses, let's say plumbers, then you can also use Outscraper or Gmaps Extractor. So these tools basically use Google Maps in order to get you thousands of websites. Outscraper also has a free plan, so you can just try it out, and if you like it, you can get the paid plan. Now, here are a couple of others that I'm not going to cover in more detail, but if you want to explore them, feel free to do that. Essentially, you can get every lead that you want from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, because most people have the company that they're working at in their LinkedIn. So this is great for any kind of B2B leads that you might not find in Apollo. Now, there were a couple of tools like Findy Lead that did that for LinkedIn Sales Navigator as well, but a lot of them also don't exist anymore, so I'm not going to feature anything in this video because it would be outdated probably. Just Google and you're probably going to find something. Now, for software company leads, Crunchbase is a great place. If you want to target people from social media, igleads.io helps you get emails from Instagram, and Tweet Hunter helps you get emails from Twitter. This is really powerful actually. I've used this a lot of times and it's been really helpful to me. So if you feel like your ideal clients would be on Twitter, Tweet Hunter is a great place. For any kind of niche markets, you can also always search for an online list by just Googling list of your target in location. And then you can use web scraping tools in order to get them. So let's say I'm looking for marketing agencies in the UK. I'll just type that into Google. And let's say I'm going to click on this link right here. So as you see now, we have a list of agencies right here, and they always have a website link as well. So how do we get the data from all of this? And this website, by the way, doesn't have that many results, but sometimes you do find websites with 10,000 or 20,000 results. Sometimes it might even be worth buying those kind of lists. So in order to get the websites now as a CSV file, I can click on the instant data scraper right here, and then it literally pulled up the whole list. I can rename them here. I can delete the columns that I don't want. I have the location, I have the website name and the website, and then I can just click on download the CSV file, and I have a list of websites. Now the question is, how can you get the emails of the decision makers of those now? Now you could technically upload them to Apollo and try to find the emails from there, by the way, but then you would have often found them in the first place replace on Apollo. So another tool that I would recommend here to use is anymailfinder.com. And I've had a lot of success with Anymailfinder. I've probably scraped hundreds of thousands of emails with them. Pricing is also really, really good, and they also verify your emails already. If you want to do this, you can use the bulk search right here, and you can just upload your CSV. Now, before you do this with Anymailfinder, you actually need another column in Google Sheets where you will indicate what kind of job title you're looking for. So let's say this would be the list of websites that you scrape from somewhere. You would add a new column here on the right side, and you'd call it title, and then you would indicate 1 to 2 keywords. For example, CEO and founder. And then you would download this CSV file, and you would add it to Anymailfinder, and they would do the rest. Now, in terms of the success rate with Anymailfinder, it really depends on your niche, but it can be anything between 5 to 20% of emails that they can find from the websites. And next, we're going to get into formatting and enriching the leads. So you have a leads list now, which is awesome, but now you might want to do a couple of adjustments to your list. The way you would do this, you would add a new file in Google Sheets again, and you would click on append, just like we did before. And now we can start making a couple of adjustments. First adjustment that I usually do is to clean up the company name. And the reason for that is that it will be very awkward if we send an email and we have company name as a variable inside of there, and we say, hey, I saw that SPN Networks, Inc. is doing whatever. It just looks a little weird. We want to remove the Inc. We also want to remove LLC or any kind of other field. Here's an easy way how you can do this. You're going to click on the whole column, and then you're going to click on edit, and you're going to click on find and replace. And now we can easily replace Inc., for example, by typing in Inc. and replacing it with nothing. So as you see, I just clicked replace all, and it did this for 900 entries. Now you need to be careful with this feature, because if I would now type in something like network, or even just a couple of words that appear in the normal company name, then it's going to remove it from there as well. So be careful with this. I think I would want to remove any kind of commas and everything as well. So as you see, this already looks much better. I'm going to remove the LLC as well. I want to remove any kind of .com. So I'm basically now just looking through the company name list to see if there's something that I want to remove. I would want to remove this trademark symbol as well, because it would be weird to send an email with a trademark symbol. You can skip this whole part of cleaning up the list by using instantly.ai. They have an integrated AI prompts that will clean up the company name or add any kind of personalization. So if you're currently watching this and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this, then you don't need to if you're using a tool that has this integrated like instantly. Now, the last thing I'm going to fix here is I don't like that it's all capitalized with some company names. So I'm going to add a new column here on the right side, and I'm going to use a formula called proper. So you just do the equal sign and then proper. I'm going to click on it, and then you're going to click on these columns. I'm going to hit enter. And as you see here, it automatically did this for everything. I'm going to call this clean company name. And if I want, I could even delete this one, but be careful because there's a formula that's still attached to it, so I would not remove it. Now, here's also how you can AI personalize all of your emails in a single Google Sheet. Now, again, this you could do it instantly, but let me show you how it would work. So you can install the Chrome extension called GPT for Sheets, and then you're going to have it here in your extensions, and you can open it here, and you have to add your API key. So if you just Google OpenAI create API, you should find a lot of resources how you can easily do that. Once you did that and you added your API key, you can now use ChatGPT inside of your Google Sheets basically, which is really cool. So what we can do here is we can add a new column to the very right side, and we can call it AI personalization. Let me make it a little bigger here. And now we can basically add any prompt that we want. Now I could say something like create a first sentence personalization for a cold email based on the following SEO description. And then I'm going to close these, and I'm going to use the and sign. And now I can just click on the column of the SEO description here, for example, right here. And I'm going to close this just like it started. And I'm going to hit enter. And you see it's loading right now. So if you want, you can just save yourself this formula here. And now we have a personalization. I came across Eco and was truly impressed by how it uniquely empowers digital eco initiatives for socially conscious organizations. Like, obviously, we can't really use this in the cold email right now like this. You have to adjust the prompt a little bit. For example, I can add a little more context, like start with, I notice you're helping businesses with, and fill it in based on their service. So now the personalization is going to be a lot better. I notice you're helping businesses with empowering their digital eco initiatives. And this is a really good personalization that we can use inside of our email. I just try to show you a little bit that you can be creative with this stuff. This is already a great starting point, but I can't give you a magical formula because as soon as a lot of people use it, it will not work anymore. So find your own formula, and then you're just going to drag and drop these columns down. And now you're going to see it's going to magically do the AI personalization for 15 businesses. And this basically gives you an infinite amount of opportunities how you can personalize your emails. You could also say, suggest the best coffee shop in, and then click on the company city name. And now it's going to suggest you the best coffee place. And the reason why this could also be cool is because you can add a PS line to your emails that say, hey, whenever I'm in city name, let's grab a coffee at Lorca Coffee, for example, in this case. And that basically concludes this little tutorial. It's worth learning how Google Sheet works. For example, to use the filters effectively will really help you to filter this list for a specific kind of companies and so on. Once you're ready with your list, just download the CSV right here, and then it's ready to be imported into your email sending tool. So in some cases, when it comes to formatting and enriching the leads, you can also use your email sending tool. So So the one that I'm using is Instantly at the moment. And inside of Instantly, you can even use AI prompts, which replace all of this manual kind of work. So let me quickly show you how it works. We're going to cover later how you can set all of this up inside of an email sending tool. But if you use Instantly, or if you consider using it, you can click here on add a new campaign, and then you're going to add your leads inside of here. So you're going to click here on add leads, then you're going to click on upload CSV, and you're going to choose a CSV. So here's a list of a couple of email addresses that I want to email. Okay, then you're going to upload your CSV file inside of here, and then you can match the words that you have inside of your CSV to the variables. So most of these are already matched correctly, but here, for example, we added a new column actually called clean company name. So I'm going to choose company name here, and I'm going to delete this one. The email is being imported. The phone number is not correctly matched here, so I'm going to choose phone here and not import this one because there's no data here. Then essentially you can import all the variables that you want. So usually when I look at data and I want to have it inside of my email sending tool, I just choose custom variable here. As you see here, the SEO description will actually come in quite handy because we can use AI to personalize based on this content. Once that's done, I'm going to click upload all. As you see here, Instantly can also verify your leads inside of it. So this is really handy if you don't want to do all that verification process that we talked about. Then I'm going to click on upload, and that's it. So this is the sequence window where I can actually write the cold emails, and we're going to do that in a couple of minutes. Before though, I wanted to show you how you can AI personalize your leads inside of here. So Instantly has a button here called AI prompts, and there's a lot of templates that you can already use, but you can also essentially create your own template. Here's an AI prompt that I created in my own templates, for example. If I click here on edit for the service one, it basically says, based on the following SEO description of a B2B company, analyze what the product or service is that their prospects are looking for, then mention the most important one in a simple 1 to 3 word combination. But essentially it creates a brief description of what they're doing. And the reason why this is helpful is because I can now create an email that says something like, hey, John, I'm sure you're always looking for better ways to reach companies that need B2B lead generation. And this will be super specific to their service. So now imagine thousands of emails that will all say a unique service. So for example, with companies looking for SEO help or companies looking for help with their Facebook advertising. Now I'm hoping you can see that this would make the email super personalized, and this is just the beginning. You can essentially do whatever you want with these AI prompts. So get creative here. For example, I also created one called job title shortener, so that when the title is CEO and co-founder and whatever, it will also just shorten it to founder. And then I could say, hey John, as a founder, I'm sure you're always looking for this and that. Okay, now that we covered the lead section, let's get to writing your cold emails. Copywriting as a skill is super hard to learn. It takes years to master. But in the following section, I try to make it as easy as possible for you to write an email script for yourself and for your company. Also, if you watch this video on YouTube, check the link in the bio because I might have an AI cold email writer that will do all of this for you. I'm still playing around with it at this moment, so it's not available yet, but I'm working on something that will make it even easier for you to write them. Our goal here is to write emails like this one. Hey, first name, I saw something relevant to your message. We help companies achieve results, but I'd never expect you to believe me without giving you something first. I made you a resource and I wondered if you'd let me know if it was useful, and then maybe we could chat. So do you see how this email could get really, really high responses? Because there's essentially nothing to lose. You're not asking this prospect to jump on a call, which is very difficult in the beginning. You're just asking them if they want to look at a resource that you created that will help them achieve a result. And as you see here on the right side, there's essentially 3 components to this. There's the opener, there's the value proposition, and there's the call to action. And these next few minutes, I'm going to break these components down so that you can create your own cold emails very easily with a super simple framework. Now, before we do though, we have to talk about offers. Now, ideally, you create a cold friendly offer. And the offer is crucial, by the way. You need to have something that will make a stranger to think, I want to learn more. I want to check this out. And this is usually not your core service. Like, depending on what you do, maybe you help people with building websites or with TikTok advertising. No matter what it is, none of that will usually sound really special. There's probably other businesses that offer the same thing like you, and they also send cold emails. So why would someone respond to your email? There's essentially 2 cold email friendly offers. First one is a lead magnet, and this is basically a small part of your offer that you can deliver free that will cost you almost no time and no money. Ideally, you can even deliver it on a call. The second one would be a risk reversal or guarantee. In this case, if you can't create a lead magnet, you would advertise your core service, but you would add a risk reversal or a guarantee to your core offer, which makes it interesting for people and they'll respond. So here are a couple of examples. 50 qualified sales calls a month or you don't pay. I'm hoping you notice that this one is the core service, right? This person would help someone book more sales calls, but they added a risk reversal so that it's easier to say yes to. Or 10 listing appointments or you don't pay. Or a free SEO audit, 10% performance boost, or $100 gift card. So this is essentially a lead magnet. Now let me illustrate this with an example from our own software company. You know now what we do. We basically help people to create more email accounts, and that way they can scale their email outreach. They're going to get more replies, book more calls, get more clients. Now how about 10 free email accounts that I could give you for cold emailing to get you 10 more meetings a month? Now that's an offer. Or how about 1,000 free leads in your niche currently looking for your service. Now, it's very difficult for someone to say no to that if I'm going to offer that in a cold email. And that's essentially what Alex Hormozi always says. He says, what is something that you could offer where the prospect would be almost stupid to say no to? And if you find an offer that you can present in that way and you believe they would be stupid if they say no to it, then you got a great offer. Another simpler example could be a 5-minute demo showing you how to achieve desirable end result, right? It's very easy to say yes to that because they have nothing to lose essentially. So let's break down a couple of more cold email scripts that I found on the internet, but also that I used myself. I want to give credit here to Eric Novoslavsky and Christian from Client Ascension, who write really good cold email scripts. So here's the first one, and I want you to always look at these components here on the right side. Hi, first name. I'll guarantee you 10 more sales meetings a month at $10 a meeting. We accomplish this for 600 plus clients, just like company name, with a cold email system that costs less than $500 a month. If you're interested, we'll integrate it with your company at no fee. You cover the tools only. Can I walk you through how it works? Now, this is essentially a cold email that I wrote for myself to promote Mailscale. So as you see here, there's an opener, a very strong opener here actually. Then we have social proof. Then we have the value proposition, how we can actually help them. And then we have a call to action. And with these components, you can literally write thousands of cold emails. We're going to cover a couple more examples that you can really understand this concept. How about this one? Hi, first name. Opener is I'll cut the BS and get right into it. I respect your time. You could use this technically for yourself as well. Value proposition. We can drive 400,000 yearly sales for company name with our organic content system. Notice here how they make their service or product sound really exciting and interesting by essentially inventing a new method. You can do this for your service as well. Social proof. We boosted Lululemon sales by 15% last year solely from the content we wrote for them, and I have the blueprint to help you do the same. You always want to have a 2 versus 1 UI ratio, so always use twice as many U's in your email as I's, because people don't care about you, they just care about themselves. Call to action. Open to walking through a content strategy I had in mind for you on a quick call, but this is where they pitch the call directly. This is more difficult. You're going to get less positive replies with this, so I do recommend you to start with softer call to actions in the beginning, but later on you can try these ones as well. Now, next one, value proposition call to action. So as you see with this email, it's much shorter and we don't have all the components. So this goes to show you that you don't technically need all of the components. Hi, value proposition. Hi, first name. I was checking out company name's website and I had a few blog ideas that can drive more organic sales for your brand. Call to action. I recorded a quick video going over these blog ideas in more detail. Mind if I share them here? This is an email that's going to get a crazy reply rate because it looks super personalized. It looks like you actually went to their website, and the call to action is so simple to say yes to. Why would I not want to watch that video that you created for me? Now, by the way, great thing about these kind of emails is you don't need to create any video beforehand. You're just going to pitch this, and when they reply, yes, sure, send it over, that's when you're actually going to start recording the video. Opener. I just saw one of your Facebook ads and noticed a few things that are causing you to lose sales. Value proposition. I've been helping fitness brands increase their Facebook ads conversions by up to 260%. Always focus on tangible results that you can give them. Most likely, business owners want to save a bunch of money or make a bunch of money. So the more you can connect it to making more money or saving more money, the better your cold emails are going to perform. Call to action. Mind if I send you a quick audit? The last two ones. Opener. I saw something relevant about your message. Value proposition. We help companies achieve results. And then this one. Opener. Are there any discussions internally in regards to things that you help them do? Value proposition. We're helping companies like company name achieve outcome in time frame without no rotten things. So basically without the old annoying process that they will resonate with. And then call to action. Is this a priority over at company name? So now I'm going to show you exactly how you can write your email scripts with this same framework. Let's start with the opener. This is essentially a second subject line. People will often see it in the preview, so we need to make it relevant and personalized, and we should also not show that we're selling something yet, because otherwise if people see that we're selling something, they won't even open the email. They're just going to archive it. So here are a couple of examples. Found company name while searching for business type and city, or saw you the job title, thought you'd be interested in boosting sales meetings. Let's start creating this. I'm going to create a new Google Doc here, and I'm going to think about openers for my specific business, Mailscale. So we're essentially helping people to book more sales meetings and get more clients. So I'm wondering, maybe I could say something like, how many meetings is your sales team currently booking a month? Maybe this will get them to think about it, and maybe then they're going to realize, oh, actually not enough. Or how about a very simple one? Hi, first name. Do you need more leads at the moment? But this one is revealing a little bit that we're selling something in regards to leads, so I need to be careful here. Or how about, have you tried email outreach to get more clients? This one is a little bit boring, but I'm just going to continue. I'm just going to write down everything that I'm thinking about. Or maybe a hi, first name. I'm sure as a job title, you're always looking for better ways to get leads. Okay, I think that's enough for now. Let's continue with the next component. The value proposition. Keep it simple. Connect it to their goal or problem. Make it clear. For example, we help B2B companies get 100 more meetings with simple emails like this one at scale. Now, I could also say here that my software helps people to generate more email accounts. But at this stage, people will not know the connection between email accounts and getting more clients yet. So how about we can plug 50 AI setters into company name that will book you 100 meetings a month? This sounds exciting. Or we created a software that allows you to send AI personalized emails at scale. Or how about something more related to the end result? Our software will get you 30 more meetings through outreach, or you don't pay. Or how about our software will automatically reach out to your ideal clients and book meetings with them. Social proof. This should be one sentence ideally, and it should prove your expertise. Ideally, use specific names or numbers, company names that you've helped. The more specific it is, the better. Here are a couple of examples. We've helped 600 companies book thousands of meetings. We helped Benedict from Relevance AI book 80 more meetings monthly. And this is essentially the one that I can use here as well. Benedict from Relevance AI booked 80 more meetings a month with it. Or this helped 600 plus B2B companies book more meetings than they can handle. Or Filippo from Cosmos closed 3 more clients in weeks with it. Something like that. Okay, let's go to the last component, which is the call to action. So essentially we want to present our cold friendly offer and make it hard to refuse. So depending on what the offer is that we choose here, we could say something like 110 free email accounts to try yourself, interested in 1,000 leads of your ideal clients. Now in this case, our value proposition here is a little vague and just talks about our software. So we need to think about our actual cold email friendly offer. Can I send you a 5-minute video explaining further? It's very easy to say yes to this, for example. Well, how about, mind if I send you more info on how it works? So how about I created a list of 1,000 leads interested in service. So for example, SEO. Can I send over a video, or can I send a sample? Now this would be a little sneaky, because if someone replies to this email, I would not just scrape those leads for them. I would maybe do that on the call. But in this case, what we could do is, if they say yes to this, we could create a quick Loom video where we show the filters in Apollo and show them, look, these are the people that you could target. And if you want to learn how you can send emails to them at scale, feel free to book a call. And just by them seeing the list of leads that they could all contact, it'll probably get them interested to check out Mailscale. So usually I would do this process a little bit longer. I would probably write 10 more sentences for each component, but I think this is enough to create our first email sequence. So let's go into Instantly and write our first email. Now, every tool is going to write these variables a little differently, right? So check out how your tool that you're using is doing this. For example, Instantly is doing it like this. So let's use the first value proposition here. I really like this one. I think the image of AI setters is just really exciting. So let's use this one. Then I think I'm going to use this case study right here. We did this for Benedict. Now we have too much we, right? So we need to switch that in a second. And then mind if I send you more info on how it works? I think this one is very easy to reply to. And then we also don't need to create a video. So for instance, you can use this tag that will automatically plug in the name of the email account that will send these emails. Because as you know, all of my email accounts are going to send these emails and they have different names. So I want that name to be always dynamic and unique to the email. Now let's fix this the we here. As a result, we don't tell them now that they're going to do email outreach. I think that's fine though, because it might get them curious how they're going to achieve that. Now this first sentence is revealing that we're selling something, so we could say something before that. Maybe I'm going to rather say 30 more meetings a month. And now I would create a couple of variations. So I'd click here on add variant, and then I would do the same process again. And maybe now I would combine this one with this one with this one. So essentially out of these, you can already create 20 different email scripts. So let me show you how I would do that actually. So the second variation could be hi first name. I was wondering if you need more meetings with companies looking for, and I think I would plug in service here. So let me show you again how that worked. Inside of my AI prompts here, I can click on templates. I'll choose the service that I created. I'll choose the SEO description, and I'm going to generate this for all the leads so that you can see how this will actually look in action. Okay, then let's pick this one. Maybe I'll add another sentence here what the result of that is, because this alone is not the end result that they're looking for. As a result, you can book 50 more meetings a month. Well, actually, let's combine this with the Benedict case study again, because it's essentially the same thing. And we combine the social proof with the end result. And then let's do the 5-minute video here, for example. Okay, now when it comes to subject lines, we don't want to reveal that we're sending something. This is the easiest mistake that you would do. Make it look like a friend or a colleague could have sent it, and make it actually risky to not check the email. For example, if an email has a subject line like, did you see this? Then I kind of need to click on it because I don't know what's inside. And I'm kind of like afraid that something's broken with my website or whatever, right? So don't expose that you're sending something. People see it in the preview. They're not going to open the email. Create curiosity. Make them want to open it. Here are a couple of bad examples. Want to add $50,000 a month, SEO help, interested in 100 leads a month, interested in a new website, right? So all of these ones literally expose that you're selling something. Quick question first name was an amazing subject line. Now a lot of people use it, so I think I would stay away from it. But here are a couple of ones that work well at the moment. Is that you? First name. Did you do this? First name. Why not first name? RE quick question. Is this true? First name. Happy day of the week? First name. What do you say? First name. Company name and your company name. So these are a couple of examples. You can be creative, come up with your own stuff. Just make sure that you're not revealing that you're selling something. So in this case, the email ends with mind. So we could say something like, do you mind? I'm not a big fan of this because it already sounds so negative. Do you mind sounds like that they would have to do something, or they would have to allow us to do something, but it will definitely get people to open the email. Now, when you split test different emails here, I would use the same subject line. Otherwise, if you test different subject lines and different email scripts, you're not really going to know what performed better now. So it doesn't fit that well to the second email. So I think I'm going to make it easy and just say about company name. So right here, I'm going to select company name and I'm going to save this and do the same for this one. The next part is going to be follow-up emails. Now, this is very important because the best cold emails emails are actually cold email sequences. They consist of 2, 3, 4 different emails that you send every couple days, and that sequence will basically stop as soon as the prospect replies anything. And this really gives you more chances to get a response because very few people respond to the first email that they see. Now here's a simple framework that you can use for the follow-up emails. The first follow-up email is going to be a simple bump, meaning an email like just making sure you see this. The second one can be a variation of the first one with a new angle or new information. The third one could be another case study or more in-depth info about your offer. And then you're going to have a breakup email which says something like, hi, first name, I assume this isn't a high priority at the moment, I'll stop reaching out for now. Now the second and third here are optional. Sometimes I also only send a second bump and then a breakup email right away, so you can decide for yourself. So let's start implementing this. Right here I'm going to click on add new step. And I'm not going to send it after one day because I feel like that's going to annoy people and they're probably going to mark our emails as spam. And if they do that, our deliverability will suffer. So I usually like to send emails every 2 to 3 days. So I'm not going to say anything in the subject line here because I wanted to send it in the same email thread like the original email. So we could write something like, hi first name, did you see my last email? Just something that looks like it could be manually written. You could even add send from my iPhone right here, which can boost response rates. Now for the third step, let's actually create another variation of the first email. I reached out because I believe our AI setters could help you book 30 more meetings a month. Would love to show you how it works. So this one might be a little bit too generic, so you might want to make it a little more aggressive. For example, something like, especially because I found 14,000 leads looking for help with, and then I'll add the service variable here. Maybe remember the service variable was one that we created here in the lead section with the AI prompts. So let me actually show you how that looked like now. So while we were writing the email scripts, it basically created this AI variable. So as you see here, for this company, it says automated marketing tool, Amazon retail sales. So if I look at their website, as you can see here, this company helps people with Amazon. And for the service, it says Amazon retail sales, which is really awesome because we can use all of this now in every single email, which makes it look really personalized. So let me show you how this service variable will look. We added it here, for example. I was wondering if you need more meetings with companies looking for. And if I click here on the preview, we're going to be able to see a preview of our email. For example, in this case, it would say, hi, Chris. I was wondering if you need more meetings with companies looking for automated marketing tools. We created a software that allows you and so on. So this is really personalized. And again, this just shows you the potential. You could create 5 different AI personalizations here. So in our third step, I really like the sentence now because it would say something like, hi, Chris. Just wanted to make sure you see this. I reached out because I believe our AI setters could help you book 30 more meetings a month, especially because I found 14,000 leads looking for help with automated marketing tools. And this sentence alone can get a lot of attention. Now, without this sentence, it's kind of a normal pitch. But with this sentence, I kind of show that I have something that my prospect wants. And the only way to get it is to reply to this email. Now we're going to add one last email, which we're going to send again after 3 days. It seems like this isn't a high priority at the moment. Or maybe it seems like booking more sales meetings isn't a high priority at the moment. I'll stop reaching out for now. And this is called a breakup email. This actually tends to perform really well because people kind of get FOMO, fear of missing out, and they sometimes reply to this email. Now, I want to mention something that's very important. You don't want to send emails just like this. You want to send emails with spin tags, which is essentially giving your emails a couple of variations, just like here. Because if you send tens of thousands of emails like this one that don't have a crazy variation, other than the first name, then you will land in the spam folder because Google and Outlook see that you're sending 99% of the same email. Okay, that's essentially it. So let's dive into deliverability actually, because this is extremely important. Now, if you send 10,000 emails a month, but 9,000 of them land in the spam folder, you're not going to get great results. So you want to make sure that your emails land in the inbox. And we were already talking about how you should set up the system in a way that you buy secondary domains and you set up email accounts underneath, and each email account should only send 20 to 30 emails per day in order to spread the volume. I'm going to talk about that again in this section, but there's more to it. And the reason why you need to do all of this is because Google and Outlook have really good filters to protect the inbox of their users. So if you send heavy promotional emails, they're going to put that in the promotions tab or into the spam folder where your prospects are not going to see it and you're not going to get results. Now, I know this can look a little overwhelming here with so many steps, but you just need to learn them one time and then you always know them. Now, the first one is to disable the open rate tracking. And ideally, enable something that's called delivery optimization. A lot of the email sending tools have this. So right here in the settings in Instantly, there's this button called delivery optimization, and it says send emails as text only, no HTML. And when I click on it, it will automatically disable the open rate tracking. So I wouldn't be able to track opens right now, but at least I know that my emails will land in the inbox at a way higher rate. And the reason why that's the case is because when we don't send with HTML, Google and Outlook have basically no way of seeing that we even used any tool like Instantly. Now, on the other hand, if you enable open rate tracking, yes, in the analytics, you're going to be able to see how many people opened your email, which is awesome. But also for them to track the open rate, they add a hidden link into your email. And then when someone opens the email, that link basically fires and they know that someone opened the email. Now the problem with that is that at scale you will land in the spam folder with that. And the reason why that's the case is because Google and Outlook can scan links, so they don't know what's behind that link if you're sending a virus or whatever you're sending. So to protect their users, they would rather put your email into the promotions tab or into the spam folder. So I would always recommend you to disable open rate tracking and measure your campaign's performance based on the reply rate instead. So right here in the analytics, we would not look at the open rate, it will show 0 anyways, but we look at the reply rate. And as long as we're getting at least 2% to reply to our email in general, including that they're interested or not interested, then we're on the right path. Now, technically speaking, you could enable open rates just for a couple of days to see how your open rates are in general, but then turn it off again. With the subject lines that I showed you, you usually will get a 50% to 80% open rate. Now, the next thing is to warm up your emails for 2 weeks before starting campaigns. Now, the warm up process is basically a process where the email sending tool, for example, Instantly, they have it enabled, but there's also other software tools that have an email warm up. And what they essentially do is they send emails from your email accounts with other users in their network. And then if an email lands in the spam folder, they will automatically put it into the inbox. And that will boost your deliverability. So this is a really helpful process, especially in the beginning, because if you just bought new domains, those are going to be fresh and they don't have a reputation yet. So if you start cold emailing from day one, you will land in the spam folder. And that's because Google and Outlook don't trust your domains yet. So you should let them warm up for a week or two until you start sending actual cold emails. And I know it's sometimes annoying to wait for a week or two until you can start, but see this as an investment that will pay off tremendously because your email accounts will stay healthy for a longer time, and use that time to write more email scripts, scrape more leads, and so on. Now, even while you're sending campaign emails, you should keep the warm-up emails enabled because they help boost your overall engagement rate. So in terms of the amounts, I would recommend you to send 20 to 30 warm-up emails per day and 20 to 30 campaign emails. Now with these newer tools like Instantly and Smartly, you really don't need to do anything. Once you add your email accounts, they'll usually already enable the warm-up automatically. And as you see here, they'll show you the score. For example, all of my emails right now have a score of 97% to 100%. So if I click on them, you'll see that they send around 15 warm-up emails per day, and almost all of them land in the inbox, which is awesome. Because now I know that my campaign emails will also land in the inbox as long as I follow the best practices. Now, when it comes to the overall sending limit, I would send up to 50 to 60 emails per day per account and not more. So a good ratio here is around 20 warm-up emails per day and up to 30 campaign emails per day after the 2 weeks. You can often change these settings as well with the bulk settings in your sending tool. Next up is to not use any links inside of your cold email. Now, a lot of beginners add links of their website into a cold email. That's what you should definitely not do. And that includes an unsubscribe link. And the reason why is Google and Outlook can scan links. So you should treat your cold emails rather as conversation starters, and once they reply positively to your email, that's when you can send all the links that you want because they already engage positively. Even if you send links now, it will always land in the inbox. Same goes for unsubscribe links. They kind of expose you for being a mass email sender. You want to make your emails look like you actually manually sent them. And if you manually send an email, you're not going to have an unsubscribe link. The next is to use personalization and spin tags to create variations of your email. Now, we already covered the normal personalizations like first name and company name, but I would also recommend you to use spin tags to create even more variations of your email. Because right now, if you would send this email to tens of thousands of people, 95% of the email body is going to be the same one. At some point, Google or Outlook will see that you're kind of sending the same messages and will put you into the spam. So always use the first name and the company name whenever you can. But spin tags can really help you create more variations of it. So every sending tool is using spin tags a little differently, and you want to check if your sending tool even allows you to use spin tags. In Instantly, this is the format that I would need to use. Random means that it's going to randomly select from these different options. For example, I could give it 3 different variations for meetings. Sometimes it will use meetings, sometimes it will say 30 more calls, and sometimes it will say 30 more sales calls. So as you see here, right now it says calls, but if I switch anything about the email, as you see, it will go through the different variations. I actually created the custom GPT for this. That'll make it easier. So all I would need to do is copy paste my email script into this GPT. I'm going to try to link the GPT somewhere below so that you can use it as well. And that's essentially it. So now we can just copy the new script, plug it in here, arrange it. And then I usually go through the words just to make sure that these are actually words that I would actually send. So for example, efficiently plug 50 AI, I would not say that, but easily and quickly is great. AI setters, AI agents, AI assistants, AI tools, right? So tools and assistants, I would remove those. These are all great. These are also good. And these are also good. So let's click on the preview button. And now I would go through a couple of variations here just to make sure that everything looks good, but I'm not seeing any issues right now here. Now, the next one is to send appropriate content and avoid spam words. Unfortunately, you're going to get into issues if you try to send crypto-related offers or gambling-related offers and so on. And also, you should avoid spam trigger words as much as you can. So for example, if I would send an email that says something like, we can make you a guaranteed $50,000 next month, it's difficult to get into the inbox with such a claim because it obviously sounds like a scam. So the website that you can use here called MailMeet here, and I'm going to quickly copy my email in there. So as you can see right here, the overall score of this email is great. There's literally not a single spam trigger word. But as soon as I would type in here 30 guaranteed calls, as you see here, it says overpromise. This doesn't mean that we can't send the email like that. Just make sure that you don't have too many of these and that your overall score isn't poor. Now, the next thing is to always verify your leads before sending. I already showed you how this works. You can use platforms like Million Verifier or Voila No Bird, Never Bounce, or MailVeri, or some of the email sending tools like Instantly have it integrated. Even if you get verified leads from Apollo, make sure to verify them again because most of them will be outdated. Exclude the bounce leads and the risky emails from your list by deleting them from your Google Sheets. And then lastly, send targeted, relevant content with delays between each email. We already covered this as well. Try to keep a 2 to 3 delay between each email. And really think about what kind of email you're sending to your prospects. You want to minimize any chance that they're going to mark it as spam. So this can happen for several reasons. If you send someone an email every day, they will mark you as spam. If you send a plumbing company an email saying that you help consultants, or your email says, hey, I saw that you're a barber shop, but they're a plumbing company because you messed up the AI personalization, then they will mark you as spam. If you forget to use the brackets that you need in your email sending tool for the personalization, and you, for example, send hi first name, but it will not add the first name to the first name, they will mark you as spam. So always make sure to click on the preview button here to really see if everything looks good. Send yourself a couple of test emails, and only then launch your emails. So now let's actually go through the process of launching this system. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to create a campaign in your email sending tool. Now we already did this, but if you want to see that part again, I'm just going to click on add new here and instantly. Every email sending tool is obviously going to handle this differently. So study the tool that you're actually going to use. Then you're going to add your verified and cleaned leads. Or if your email sending tool allows you to verify them, you can do it inside of there. Then you're going to add your email sequences, including the initial email and the follow-up emails. So we already did this here. We wrote an email. We created a couple of follow-up emails that are going to be sent every 2 to 3 days. We made sure to leave the subject line empty here so that we'll use the previous subject line and send it as a thread. And we made sure to not send any links and use spin text so that we have the best deliverability. We even created a couple of different variations here for the first email so that we can split test and see which one performs the best. So last thing that we want to do is make sure that the settings are all correct. So inside of the options, we're going to click on send emails as text only. Not every email sending tool might enable you to do this. So in those cases, just disable the open rate tracking, then choose the accounts that you want to use. So this is where I would add my 50 or 200 email accounts or more. The more email accounts I have, the more emails I can send because each email can send 20 to 30 campaign emails per day. And then I'm going to increase the daily limit just so that we don't have a bottleneck there. Now I can click launch and the campaign will start. Also make sure that the schedule aligns with the schedule of your prospects that you have. So if you target people in the US, you want to make sure that your time zone is the US time zone here and you're sending from Mondays to Fridays. If you're sending in Europe, make sure that the time zone is correct. Okay, my campaign is live now and I'm ready to receive replies. After a couple of days of sending these emails, you'll start to get the positive replies in, both negative and positive. Instantly here automatically tags them with AI as interested, which is really helpful to me. So I'm just going to focus on the interested ones. Now the question is, how do we turn these positive replies into booked calls now so that we can close them and get more clients? Now, first of all, we're going to use the Unibox inside of Instantly to reply to all of them and manage all replies. It's the easiest way. Depending on the email sending tool that you're using, make sure that it has a Unibox. It makes it a lot easier to manage all these replies. To get someone from a positive email reply into a book call is called inbox management. And essentially there's an art to this. So a couple of rules here. Respond fast. Aim for 15 minutes. Speed can easily double the meetings that you book. Some of these email sending tools like Instantly have an app that you can install on your phone so that you can get notifications when someone replies. And then we always want to frame a quick call as the best way to get the info that they want. If possible, you can call the prospects. If you added the phone number as a custom variable when importing the leads, you're going to be able to see the phone number and you can literally just call them, which is the easiest way to book meetings. Now, if you don't want to do this, then here are the most common responses and the best answers that you can give. These will literally cover 90% of the replies that you're going to receive. So these ones will be, I'm interested. Can you provide more details? Let's schedule a call. You've got the wrong person, reach out to X. And what's the cost? So let's go over how you can reply to them. Let's say someone says they're interested. Then you can reply, hi first name, thanks for your interest. For more information, here's link. Would you be available to discuss implementing X for company name at either X or Y time in time zone? If those times don't work, feel free to book a call here. Calendly, looking forward to hearing from you. So I would literally send this reply here inside of Instantly. As you see, this prospect basically said, hi John, sure, send me an invite. So I would click here on reply. You can even save those as a reply macro as a template so it's easier to find them in the future. Definitely make sure that we'll actually send the first name of the prospect, otherwise you can lose a lead here. So in this case, I would rather select it here again, and as you see, it will automatically fit it in, which is helpful. Then in terms of for more information, here's link. Obviously that will require you to have some kind of information on your website. Maybe you have a Loom video, maybe you have something explaining your system a little more, which is helpful. Technically this is optional, but it would really help because people kind of want more information. And then I would suggest a couple of times, ideally in their time zone. So I'd quickly look at the company, maybe at their LinkedIn to check out in which city they're in, or click on my lead here to check out in which time zone they're in, and then suggest a couple of times, but then also give them a scheduling link so that they can pick a time if those don't work. Now here are a couple of other replies that you can use. If someone asks, can you provide more details? Then you say, hi, first name, of course, in a nutshell, we offer X, right? You add your service or product in there. Keep it short. For more details, here's value. So you might want to add a resource or a video again that explains further. And then would you be available at Y time and time zone to chat further? You can also schedule a time that works better for you here. Kindly let me know. So very similar to the other one, but it kind of answers their question, which is to provide more details. If they say, let's schedule a call, then you say, hi, first name, that sounds perfect. Are you available at X or Y time and time zone? If those don't work, feel free to choose another time and Calendly. Excited to connect with you soon. As you see, we're really going for the Calendly here always. If they say you've got the wrong person, reach out to X, then you reach out to X and you say, hi, first name, first contact. So you plug in, so you add the name of the original prospect here. Suggested I reach out to you regarding X. Quick introduction, little info on what you do. Here's a recap of the previous message. Might want to say one or two things why the original prospect was interested. Then are you available at X or Y in time zone? If those times don't work, feel free to book a call here. If you get the cost question, so people asking you what's the pricing, then I would say something like, hi, first name, pricing can vary, but our typical range is around X. I can't give an exact figure right now as it depends on why. So try to find a reason that's kind of plausible why you can't come up with a number right now. For example, in our case, because it depends on what kind of implementation they require. For example, if they want us to write email scripts for them, if they want us to scrape leads and so on. So I actually can't give a figure. If you're open to it, we could have a quick 7 to 9 minute chat to go over the details. Let me know if that works for you. If you're interested, I can send over a calendar invite. If not, no problem. So we go a little softer here because if someone asks for the pricing and you instantly send them a Calendly invite, then they're most likely not going to take it. But this softer kind of approach gives them the power and they'll usually respond positively. Make sure to follow up with them if they don't book the call or if they don't show up. And that's essentially it. We've come to the end for the complete cold email guide. That means that you pretty much know everything that you need to know about cold emailing in order to book 30, 50 or 100 more sales calls a month. And if you want to start setting all of this up, you can start by getting Mailscale today. Just pick the plan that aligns most with your goals. Depending on how many sales calls you want to book, you might want to get the business plan or the enterprise plan, which will get you 50 or 200 email accounts and more. With that amount of email accounts, you can easily contact at least 10,000 new businesses every month, out of which you should get at least 50 interested in your service or product, of which you can probably close 5 to 7 new clients. Now, if you're not selling a high-ticket product but a software product, for example, then you can even get a couple hundred customers a month. I'll leave a link below so that you can kick that off today. If you have any other questions, I'm super happy to help you. And check out the other content that we have around this. See you in the next video, and bye-bye.